guys, welcome back to The Buzz. I'm Tiara Bree with Barbara Tidwell of the Wildlife Rescue Coalition of Northeast Florida. How are you doing, Barbara?
I'm doing great.
Good. So today I just want to talk a little bit about what the Wildlife Rescue Coalition is. What all do you do in Jacksonville?
Well, primarily we take care of all native wildlife, which would include everything from bobcat, fox, deer, raccoons, possums, squirrels, turtles, tortoises, rabbits, skunks, baby skunks, and we rehabilitate them and release them back to the wild. We give them a second chance at life.
Okay, that's awesome. So do you all go out, into the wild basically to find the pet or the animals, or how do you get them?
Well, actually, they come from all over.
Okay.
They come in. We have several veterinarian offices that are contact points, so people bring them to them. If they're injured, they will treat them and get them onto us. We do daily pickups at the vet offices, but people can bring them straight to the Wildlife Center.
Okay.
They can, sometimes if they call and they don't have a way to get them to us, we will send someone out if we have a volunteer. We are 100% volunteer driven, and so we get as many animals as we possibly can. We have about 2,000 admissions a year, so
Okay.
we find a lot of them.
Yeah, I
Or they
see.
find us.
And then so, I just happen to have a backyard with, baby squirrels. So if one fell out of a tree or something and they, I can't take care of it, I can bring it to the Wildlife Coalition?
That's correct.
Okay,
Right.
perfect. And do you all have on-staff veterinarians?
We actually, they're not on staff, but they're in the community, and they volunteer their time just as we do.
Okay.
And so we get the animals to them, or they will come to the center and see animals also.
Okay.
So,
And then how do you get your volunteers, since you are volunteer-based?
well, they come from all over. Volunteer Jacks is one place that has helped us get volunteers. We advertise just word of mouth. The veterinary offices advertise as well for us, but people that bring us a baby squirrel, such as yourself, that loves animals, says, "Oh, how do you all do this?" And so we may say, "Well, why don't you join with us and become a volunteer?" And we do training, and you do everything from taking care of babies to taking care of injured animals, but you get special training with our coordinators.
Okay, so the volunteers can just come with no experience and
That's
just
right.
kind of
And
get
they
that training?
trained, and yep.
That's
We have a lot
awesome.
of dishes to wash and a lot of laundry to do too,
Yes,
so that's
I'm
part of your
sure.
activities while you're getting trained to take care of the animals.
Okay, and then taking care of the animals is the biggest thing you all need help with right now,
That's
right?
exactly right. Yeah, we're
Okay.
getting ready to come into those baby squirrel seasons. Yeah.
And then how do you all deal with, dangerous animals or animals that might be vicious? How do you, deal with those?
Very carefully.
Okay.
Yeah, we do. Such as bobcat, raccoons. Some of our animals are rabies vector animals. All of our coordinators and volunteers that handle those animals have had pre-vaccinations against rabies.
Okay.
And we work as a team. We have nets and gloves, and we're very careful. And so,
So you do all train to work with the dangerous animals as well?
right.
As,
And we do ask people to get their pre-vaccinations for rabies if they're going to work with those particular animals.
Okay. And then if I just happen to have poisonous snakes or venomous animals in my yard, what do I do?
Well, one thing you could do is get a possum, because possums actually eat snakes, and the venom
I
of
didn't know that.
a snake cannot hurt a possum. So if you see possums in your yard, a lot of times people want to get rid of the possums.
know.
Say, well, you won't see poisonous snakes then. However, we do have a herpetologist that we try to get poisonous snakes to as much as we can. But that's really not our area of expertise. Most of our girls say,
It's like, no, not
snakes,
dealing with those.
Not us.
Okay, that's what
but
I was wondering.
We do try.
Okay. And then for the services you offer, how do you all rehabilitate them? Like, what all do you do there?
Well, we do everything from take a baby infant that's 1 day old, and we give them formulas, and we work with a lot of the different companies that provide those formulas, and we get them as close to the mother's milk as possible. I'm a registered dietitian by trade, so I enjoy really working with the animal formulas and the animal diets. But what we do is we take them and then feed them, bottles, syringe, tube feed, whatever's necessary to get that baby to grow. And when they're roughly 4 to 6 months old is about the time they're able to be released back into the wild. So we graduate them from one stage to the next. And so then they go with animals of their like age, and then we release them in groups.
And see, I would think that's too young to release them back, but 4 to 6 months, that's all it takes?
Yep, that's about when their mothers say, go on, it's time for college. Don't come back.
They start them young, I got
They
you.
do, that's right.
All right, and how did you get involved with the Wildlife Rescue Coalition?
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm a country girl that grew up in the mountains of eastern Kentucky, and everybody in our neighborhood knew that I knew about little critters, and so they called me Ellie Mae at one time. but someone brought me a baby raccoon, and I just started being a dietitian. This is 20 years ago in my backyard. I started looking at what to feed that animal and how to boil milk to break down the lactose, and it was before we had all the formulas. And I raised that little guy to be a 30-pound raccoon, and then I let him go. And since then, people just kept bringing me animals, and I've realized that we really need an organization much, much larger than an old lady like myself is able to provide in her backyard. So about 13 years ago, I set up the center and went to the community, and everybody gave us things from Zoo giving us cages to Lowe's giving us fencing, and Bill Gay giving us a construction trailer, and Centurion giving us a quad, and on it went. And it just, the whole community gave us things to make this center work. And we set up the 501c3, and it's just grown from there to 2,000 admissions a year. So
That's awesome.
That's how I
So
got
you started it up from nothing in your backyard.
That's right, yeah. And now it's a big center that we have a hotline 24 hours a day. We answer calls, but we this busy season we have to check every couple of hours and then get back with people and figure out how to help them.
And I know you mentioned a lot of the donations you did get, but what all are you in need of now?
Well, right now, being baby season, we do need donations of money to buy formulas. We need donations of fans because it's so hot, as you probably saw today. We're in the hot season. But we need everything from food supplies, cat and dog food, because a lot of the wild animals, we can mix that with different formulas, and it will be our base. So we need those kinds of things. Everything from feeding bowls to water bottles, hose, generators. I mean, everything that you would use in a household, washers, dryers, laundry detergent, bleach. We use a lot of bleach. So just all types of caging, wire, fencing. So.
Okay, and then how could people, get these items to you, or how could they get involved to reach you?
Well, they could call our hotline, which is 904-779-5569. They could call there, and we would have volunteers that could even have drop points. I have assisted living facilities that have 4 points in the city. Then we have the center, we have all of our vet offices, so we have a lot of drop points that people can drop things. And we are a 501c3, so it is a charitable tax donation for those folks that want to help out and give of their time or resources.
Okay, so you definitely need volunteers. That's the biggest thing. We need
volunteers, and we need volunteers that have some construction background, that can fix a cage, or somebody who can put in a water system, and just things of that nature.
Okay, and then did you have any events or anything in Jacksonville recently or coming up that you want to discuss?
Well, let's see. We do a lot of educational programs for children, and we just did one at Little Britches Daycare, and we had 50 children there, and they were just fascinated with all the animals. And then we just did a big event 2 weeks ago at the Jacksonville Suns game, and I got to be the first pitch. I had to practice a lot to get to that point, but
how'd you do?
I'm fair.
Okay.
I was very accurate, but my strength was not quite there. But next time maybe I'll get there. But then we have a vet program, a pre-vet program starting right now. That is an event where students can come and get veterinarian experience as well as animal contact hours they need to get into veterinary school. So we started our first student today, and that's exciting. So we hope to set up an externship with the University of Florida and hopefully grow this program to really help students to get the educational hours they need.
Well, that sounds like an awesome program. I would have partook in when I was in college, so I really hope it goes well for you.
Well, thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us today, Barbara.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you. And thank you all for tuning in. We will see you next time at The Buzz.